I just did that whole thing mute. I just did that whole thing mute. Oh my god. Hi, I'm Burville Mantequilla and I just accidentally started that mute. I'm sorry. I caught myself. We've only just started. But, yeah. Fore Tales. It was a free will spin game. And I'm jumping straight in. I didn't know what to expect. But as we've just read, and you read silently because I was mute, it's a card-based thing. I was pointing out some of the characters on there and saying that they look like it's very Disney's Robin Hood. It's very Disney's Robin Hood. So yeah, we're going to jump into this. Sorry about that. Sorry about the mute. Then can we? Yeah, okay, we can. His name's Timothy. He says he has worked for people like us. You're really sure he can pay? Because I could really do with the money right now. Don't worry, he promised a hefty reward. Should be more than enough to help your father and the miners with their strike. A miners' strike? God, Disney's Robin Hood and a miners' strike. It's so 80s. And for me to take early retirement. He's just a little difficult to track down in town sometimes. We'd better ask around then.
He looks like a good place to start.
Good day to you, young bird. How can I be of assistance? Looking to somebody by the name of Timothy. I see. Very secretive fellow he is. I'm just seeing how much is cropped off for you. You can see the little speech bubbles at the top. Oh, I can. You can see the little speech bubble thing there. You can see just the tip of that beak of whatever that number 7 card is. You're seeing exactly what I can see. You're seeing exactly what I can see. Nothing's missing for you. You're all right. Okay. I think I heard something about him the other day, but sadly my memory isn't what it once was. Right, and what might jog your memory, I wonder? A bite to eat usually does the trick. About 5, whatever that symbol is, should be sufficient. 5? It looks like an ale and an apple or a tomato. That's enough to last a few days. Ignore my friend here. We'll come back with some food for you. We already have 1, just 4 to go. Typical region of the game is composed of 3 to 6 location cards placed on the board. You can learn more by hovering your cursor over a card. Sometimes mouse click on cards will also trigger dialogue or a reaction from your characters. Try it out for yourself. Left card with a beggar, he'll remind you of what he wants. Spare morsel of food for an old beggar. Demanding work for an old man like me, I'd like to see you try it. Yeah, you'll get your food alright. 2 types of action cards at your disposal. Skill cards of your adventures and consumable cards. Targets will often be location cards, but not always. When you hover over one of your cards, the possible targets are highlighted along with hints as to what will happen if you play there. So pay attention to what's highlighted and where the hints appear. Conversely, if you place your cursor over elements of the board, it will highlight the action cards you can play there. Take a moment to explore your current cards and see if you can figure out a way to find enough food to proceed. Marketplace. Apple Merchant. Rest deck can be used to recover from skill cards. Okay, so that's like a don't do it. On the sense, survivor, time shot, nimble hands. Apples, fresh apples, no maggots in them or nothing. God, I've got to stop saying that out loud.
Well, I don't know about you, but my mouth is watering.
Okay. Very important rule to remember, you can only play one card per location card on the board. Sometimes it will transform the target card to another location. Most of the time it will just consume it and travel to the next card. Standard used card from the board will go back to the bottom of the exploration desk. This is going over my head, I've got to say. And once a slot is available, it will automatically be filled with the top card from the exploration deck. For district. Inspire compassion. Steal. My poor friend, here, take this.
Heartwarming stuff.
Okay. Got enough now. Let's see what this guy knows. Oh no. Oh, thank you, young bird. Now about this Timothy chap. But of course, where are my manners? Here, follow this path.
That should show the way. Well, how very altruistic.
Thanks for the tip, friend. What now? Suppose we should follow the old beggar's directions on that piece of paper. Sometimes you have to seek directions to progress in the story and reach new destinations. Check the descriptions on your cards. That one.
Friends
Beware.
of yours, Volpan?
Hostile token is blocking this card. You won't be able to play any cards on this suspicious street until you get rid of those bandits. Hover that on the token. You see creatures form in the group and decide whether to engage or not. Most confrontations start with a negotiation phase. If you have the correct resources, you might be able to discard this threat without any violence. But if you don't absolutely need to play a card here, you may as well avoid any conflict and play the other cards available. For district. Am I going to give some money to the poor people? Thank you, kind
Well,
sir.
how very altruistic.
Noisy tavern and fame. Okay, so that's not a thing. Oh, this one wants some food. I don't have any. Now I've got some
No
food.
wonder you're always poor, Volpan. You keep giving your money away.
Marketplace again. Leo's mighty roar drew a crowd of curious townsfolk. Someone's thumping something. Curiosity may kill the cat, never fails to draw a crowd.
Another job well done.
Okay. Heavily bandaged figure stood alone in the alleyway. He looked like he was waiting for someone. As Volpain and Leo appeared, the figure turned to greet them. Ah, Leo, so you're finally here and you bought Crow. I'm Shoebill. But of course you are. We heard you have work. Do I ever, but before we get down to brass tacks, I always like to get an understanding of who it is I'm working with. What do you mean? I'd like a demonstration of the value you bring to this operation. Demonstration? Yes, you know, skills, my boys. Show me your skills. The pair looked at each other perplexed. What did he mean, skills? Skills in combat, sleight of hand, or maybe just a good old trick shot from Leo. One seamless motion, Leo pulled out his bow and let fly an arrow straight at the leper. Did it just kill the man? Timothy felt a whoosh of air as a hat flew clean off his head. By the time he turned around, it was already pinned to a nearby tree. How's that for a demonstration? A little dramatic, but a fine shot nonetheless. Timothy turned around and picked up his hat and placed it carefully back on his head. Well, I've certainly seen enough to pique my interest. Then perhaps you could tell us what it was you needed. I would like for the two of you to acquire an item for me. A very rare and beautiful lyre currently in the possession of Lady Cattell. You mean the old bat who lives on the hill? I wouldn't call her that to her face. But yes, that's her. I'd like you to break into her manor, steal the lyre, and bring it to me at the Holy Grove. The Holy Grove? I know that place well. I'll get you there myself, Volpane. Excellent. I shall leave you to it. Alright, we've got a job to do, at long last. We can get straight to it if you think we're ready to go. Or we could spend some more time on the streets to prepare. It's your call. Actually, how about a small nap before we set off? You read my mind. You only have a limited number of skill cards in your adventurer's deck. Spending too much of their skill cards will tire them out. If you want to recover some skill cards, you'll have to use rest cards on the right hand side of the board. Each rest card has its own set of effects and sometimes a price that you can decide to pay or not. Read them carefully and see what they cost. Go over there and use a rest card.
Friends of yours, Volpan?
Okay. Rest. Recover 3 skill cards. Spend 2, which I don't have. Volpane wasted precious time he had. Things could have turned out differently. Didn't really have options to do anything else.
I was just resting my eyes.
Okay, don't expect it to be easy all the time. Next card on the deck will cost you food or health points. And the last card of the rest deck is always a game over, so be sure to check how many times you can hope to rest in a region. Once you move to the next region, the rest deck will be replaced by a new set of cards, and the number of rest cards in the next region is independent of how many you used here. You have complete this region. You can either proceed to the next region, or you might want to spend some more time here and gather resources and allies. Consumables and resources are carried over from one region to the next. They are not carried over from one mission to the next, so there's no need to hoard excessively. Region complete, move on when you're ready. Right, so I can't do anything. Somewhere in the garden, Leo has brought Volpane to the city gardens where food is plentiful, secrets lurk around every corner. Deep in the labyrinth lies our heroes. Square, square. Destination for the evening, Lady Cattell's Manor. Watch out, guards! There are now several hostile creatures in the search party, the deck of cards representing the animals chasing your party. Each time a new location card appears on the board, if it has a search party call token with an eye, it may spawn a group of enemies from the search party. I'm not going to remember any of this. Some of your actions may also add hostiles to the search party, hostiles that you have to face later, so be careful. Right then, Timothy said the instrument inside Lady Cattell's manor. The big house with the labyrinth. That's the one, but getting through that hedge maze is going to be tough. I think I saw some gardeners wandering around earlier. Maybe they'd know the way.
Don't look now, but that's the law. A fine spot for looting.
Most decks on the board can be browsed. If you check the content of your exploration deck, you can see what the next location is to be revealed. Maybe your current objective is somewhere in there. Maybe you want to check if the card you're looking for is coming soon. If a card is not in the exploration deck, there may be a way to access it with some that or some that. Remember, the exploration deck is cycling.
There has to be a way in.
Documents through the glass. I think it'd be useful. Only one way to find out. Maybe the gardener could open the door for us. Good to know.
All right. Who called the cops?
Where's this go? I can't do anything with it. I feel like I should be placing this somewhere. No, okay. Just use a seal card, but the only effect was to move to the next location on the exploration deck. Not the most efficient way to travel, but skill cards with no effect on a particular location or encounter will at least remove this card and move on to the next card in the exploration deck. If what you need for a mission is to reach the card somewhere in the exploration deck, moving forward is actually useful. Ouch, I knew it.
All right. Who called the cops?
I have no idea.
Rise and shine, Volpan.
I do not know what's happening. Hey, labyrinth. Not amazed by them. Can you just save the jokes till we're done with this? Going to cross that maze, find someone who knows the way. I have no idea. Okay, here are the enemies watching this location. Engage. I have no idea.
They might look the other
Start
way
your
for
first
the right
confrontation,
price.
but maybe there's no need for violence. When you hover over the cards at your disposal, you may discover ways to get rid of some of your opponents. If you get rid of enough opponents, you'll bring the morale of the group down to 0 and the rest will flee. If you use an aggressive card, the confrontation will automatically turn into a fight. If you don't have any cards to play, you don't want to play any cards on the auto battle token to trigger the fight manually. Enemy was just removed from the confrontation. In most cases, this will subtract its level from the enemy's morale. Should the enemy morale reach 0, the remaining hostiles will flee. Level of an enemy is a number at the top left corner of the card.
Taking on the gods of the
Now
watch?
both sides automatically attack the opponent directly opposite them or to the left. No one is directly in front. Between each round of attack you can play 1 card per adventurer. Again, if you don't want to play cards, you can use the auto battle token.
Killing local law enforcement. Smart move.
Getting lots of vegetables.
Ah, damn small town cops. The City Watch were famously corrupt. One simply had to find the right bargaining chip.
So I give him apples and he fucks off. Could be food
A
inside.
fine spot for looting.
One way to find out. Gardener could open the door. But the gardener's gone.
Bullpan was ready to take on the law. You know, they might be persuaded to give up the chase for the right price.
Take this.
Right between the eyes.
Brought the enemy morale to 0. Well, when they flee for their lives, when you trigger a panic, each fleeing enemy will grant you 1, whatever the level.
You must be doing something right.
Over here. Need some help, sir.
Hey, you know what they say. An apple a day and all that.
Okay. So I got this back.
Could be something good there.
Okay. So
You might be able to grease their palms on this one.
he wants apples.
That's right.
You're
It's
impressed by me being
Volpac.
famous. Okay.
Could be something good there.
I do not know.
Everyone can be bought.
Special powers signified by wooden tokens. Enemy powers can trigger during the negotiation phase. During combat, they may trigger once every few rounds. I really don't know.
Oh, see that? Quaking in their boots.
I killed you. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do to get through it. What's this? Healing.
Ho ho ho! What have you got there? Everyone can be bought.
Solidarity for the weak.
Those thugs, Bullpan. Those are guards of the watch.
Tell my mother one of your adventurers is hurt, and if your adventurers reaches 0 health points, the mission is lost and you have to replay it. You can use that or other consumables here. Maybe you should also consider swapping the positions of your adventurers during fights. Do you know what? I'm just not with it.
Killing local law enforcement. Smart move. Cowards.
I know you can see documents through the glass, but I don't know what. I don't know what. Recruit a gardener. Use him as a guide. I've got the gardener multiple times. How do we... I'm giving you money. Lead the gardener to the labyrinth and the rest should be easy. Okay. So now I take my gardener card and go over here. We have an appointment with a lady at a house. Would you show us the way through the maze? Trim the hedges, many a time follow me.
That's quite a statue.
What? What is that? Sorry, sirs, I'd rather not go any further. What, you're serious? We're barely halfway. It's this statue, sirs. Bad luck it is, haunted. Gardener backed away from the statue, nervously leaving Volpain and Leo alone. They had to admit it was rather a foreboding sight. Great. I think I hear a guard patrol coming. Quick hide.
This could get messy. These adventurers, am I right? No sense of urgency. the other way for the right price.
Can't kill ya. Use fame on ya.
Those good deeds are
Fame
finally paying
impressed
off.
ya. Okay. Now we're going to cross the maze. Map. Locked greenhouse. Okay.
They might be persuaded to forget about all this for the right price. Oh, yep, that's the sound of Volpan's name dropping.
Okay. Little help.
What have you done this time?
Look. Map of the labyrinth. Back to the map. Okay. So now I take that and put that there. Reading this right, we should be in there in no time. Good thing too, it's almost night time. Perfect time in the darker the better.
That's Lady Catel's manor.
Finally. Maybe that was the hard part and it's all downhill from here. Wishful thinking. It's getting dark, time to get down to business. Hold on a second, this could be our last chance to rest up. I need my nimble hands at the ready. Anytime you're not in combat, you can trade a skill card from your hand for another one. Just drag the card above its owner's deck. Choose a new card. New card is unavailable from your draw pile. You have to pay a fixed price. A little expensive. Cost of resting can be pretty high. Diversion, eavesdrop, diversion. Okay. Let's do this. Do what you do best, I'll cover the exit. Under the cover of night, Volpane ghosted into the manor undetected. He darted through the corridors until he reached the main hall. There, in plain sight, stood the lyre in all its splendour, glinting in the moonlight. All he had to do was reach out and take it. I'm pretty sure that was just the tutorial. Yeah, I'm already done with that. I don't need to do that anymore.
The second he touched the mysterious lyre, Volpan felt an ancient power flowing through him. Reality fractured and exploded into an infinite number of worlds, all identical and yet somehow distinct. Beyond the webs of fate, he witnessed all possible futures, resonating, vibrating, clashing. And then he saw, and he knew. He, his loved ones, his city, his kingdom, his world, everything was going to disappear, swallowed up by a cataclysm whose origin lurked behind the veil of possibilities.